So in this video, we are continuing the concept which we shared in the earlier one. That means how officially SEC method, that is a single error correction, works in case of this Hamming code. Now we have discussed this one. We saw this, that these are data bits. We are arranging some parity bits here. We are arranging some parity bits. So these parity bits are being formed arbitrarily, taking the partial data bits, and then the received parity bits are this one. I shall use the same logic here to regenerate the parity bits again. Received parity bits and regenerated parity bits will be XORed, and if the syndrome, the XOR output will be known as the syndrome. If the syndrome is 0, that indicates no error. If the syndrome is non-zero, that indicates error has occurred, and also the position number. So from this concept, we are having 5 questions coming in the mind, that how many parity bits I should have, maximum number of parity bits, or say minimum number of parity bits I should attach, and how to form parity bits, how the data bit association will be there, and data and parity bits arrangements. Should I send them at the end, should I send them at the front, or should I mix them up, and how the SEC is working and how does did work. So now in this way I shall go for this. If we are having p number of parity bits, then it can have 2 to the power of p number of combinations. P number of parity bits means 2 to the power of p number of combinations, and out of this only one combination where all the bits are zeros will indicate no error. So 2 to the power of p minus 1 number of combinations are there to denote the erroneous condition. Let us suppose we are having d number of data bits and p number of parity bits. So in my earlier example, d was 8 and p was 3. So now let us suppose d number of data bits and p number of parity bits. We are considering them as n number of message bits. Now n number of message bit, if you consider that 1 bit error at a time, if n number of message bits are there, and if we consider 1 bit at a time, then there will be n number of errors. Why I am considering 1 bit at a time? Because right now I am discussing this SEC, that is a single bit error correction. So n number of errors can occur. So this is the maximum number of combinations of errors the p can represent, and this is the maximum number of errors it can take place. So the equation should be n should be less than equal to 2 to the power of p minus 1. Okay, so I have written the same here, I have written the same. So n denotes the message bits, p denotes the number of parity bits, and d denotes the number of data bits. So we have written the same thing, and this is the respective inequality to be maintained. Now if n is equal to 8, then what will be the value of p? I took 3 arbitrarily in my prior video. So now if we put 3, then 2 to the power of 3 minus 1 is 7. So 7 cannot be greater than equal to 8. But if I put 4 here, then 2 to the power of 4, 16 minus 1 is 15. 15 is greater than equal to 8. So I think for n number of bits, where value of n is equal to 8, the parity bit will be of the number of 4. In the second case also, if 2 to the power of p minus 1, 2 to the power of 4 minus 1, what is that? 15. 15 is greater than equal to 14. So that's why I should take at least 4 bits for the parity when n is equal to 14. Now what about this n is equal to 20? If n is equal to 20, we can have, you see, 2 to the power of 4 minus 1 is 15, 15 is greater than equal to 20 is false, but if you go for n is equal to 5, p is equal to 5, then 2 to the power of 5 means 32 minus 1 means 31 greater than equal to 20 is true. So for n is equal to 20, I must have 5 bits for the parity. So this is one of the probable questions also. So please remember this inequality and you should answer accordingly. Now so how many parity bits I have answered. Now how to form the parity bits, how the data association will take place, and data and parity bits will be arranged in which fashion. Actually it will be arranged in this particular way. That means, you see, we are having 4 number of parity bits and 8 number of data bits. So in total, how many number of message bits? 12. So I shall be placing this P1 at M1, M2, M4 and M8. 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2 and 2 to the power of 3. So in these places I am placing the parity bits. You might be telling me why? Because when I shall go for the syndrome calculation, and if I get the syndrome like this or this or this or this, then it is indicating they are non-zero. That means error has occurred. But the syndrome value is 1, 2, 4 and 8. That will indicate parity bits have got corrupted, not the data bits. So I can easily isolate that whether the data bit has got corrupted or parity bits. If the parity bits have got corrupted, one of the parity bits, as we are considering single bit error, so my data bits are intact. I can easily accept that one. So that's why I'm putting this parity bits in this particular place, and rest places will be filled up with the data bits, 8 number of in my example. Okay, now we shall go for the next. So we have answered this one. So how to form the parity bits? So now if bit place number is 1, that denotes P1 bit error. Place number is 2, that denotes P2 bit error. Place number is 3, error place number is 3, that means D1 bit error. Error place number is 4, that indicates parity bit 3 error. Place number is 5, then data bit 2 error. In this way the table has got formed. Now see, P4 will be on in case of syndrome for which bit positions errors at 8th place, 9th place, 10th place, 11th place and 12th place. At the 8th place I am having the parity bits. I am just ignoring the parity bits errors. I am considering only the data bit errors. So in that case it will be at the 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. So parity bit 4 will be 1 in the syndrome if error occurs in this particular data bit message bit place numbers. So these are the message bit place numbers. And what about the P3, P2 and P1? I shall have to calculate. Now P3 I am having 4, should be ignored because it is containing parity bit. So 5, 6, 7 and 12. 5, 6, 7 and 12. So 5, 6, 7 and 12. And now for the P2 I am having, I am having 2 containing the parity bit, I am ignoring. So I am taking this 3, and then this one is 6, 7. Then I am having this one as a 9 and it is my 10 and 11. So let me check once. It is 3, good. 6, 7, good enough. 10, 11. Now for P1. So obviously it has occurred for the odd place numbers 1, 3, 5, 7 in this way. But one place is containing parity bit. So I shall ignore that one. So I shall be remaining with 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11. So these are the place numbers. Now the place numbers for what? Place numbers for the message bits. So let me convert it to the respective data bit place numbers. 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you see 9, 10, 11, 12 means data bit number 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 12. So 5, 6, 7, 12. So 5, 6, 7 and 12. Next 3, 6, 7, 10, 11. 3, 6, 7, 10, 11. So 3, 6, 7, 10, 11. So these are the message bit place numbers and these are the respective data bits place number. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. I have converted it. Now from here I shall show one example. So everything has been discussed. So in the next video, we shall put one example to show you that really how this SEC method is working. So that video will be the continuation of this particular lecture. Please watch that one. Thank you.